We promised you more Counter-Strike, and my God, have we got it. And new keyboards as well. James, tell us all about this one. We haven't used James Can in a long time. Maybe we should get on that.
No, we can do it. So this I built over the weekend. I actually did a live stream while I built this. This is what you call an underglow keyboard.
What does that mean?
I wish I could have got my mobile charger. I'll do it later. So here you can see it has lights. These little things here are lights.
Okay.
So rather than like most people have the Christmas tree keyboard, these have slots for LEDs on top of the switches,
right?
Which is how you normally have keyboards at home. But this one only, I mean, I could put them in if I wanted to, but I only have glow underneath. So if you saw me at the show match, I had pretty much the same build as this, but with different switches. I've built another one because I have the Scrabble key set being delivered today. These are, normally I use Zelios switches. These are Xylent switches. I don't know what that means. It has a carbon fiber plate. I think these are supposed to be quieter, but the other one was so quiet anyway that it's irrelevant. But yeah, I'm waiting for the Scrabble key set to arrive. I've got the short shift key, so I've got an extra button here that doesn't do anything in particular. And yeah, so we did a stream explaining all these stabilizers and things. Maybe I'll put the archive on. So as soon as FedEx deliver my Scrabble set, then I'll put that on there, and then
I do like the idea of the Scrabble set. I think that looks really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I have a bamboo. Well, you got one of them. Those.
No, Alex did. I didn't get that.
Oh, you didn't get one?
I didn't make it in time.
So the bamboo keyboard. Excuse me. So I'm thinking maybe putting it on there, or I've got a champagne case.
What does that mean?
It's a champagne color case. It's kind of like a goldy yellow.
Okay.
Case over there for another board I'm going to make. I'm thinking putting the Scrabble set on the champagne case, but for now it's going to be on here as soon as it's delivered. Hopefully anytime soon. Dan,
you a good Scrabble player?
I'm alright at Scrabble.
I'm a bit of a demon at it. If you ever want to play me,
I'm down.
I enjoy it a lot. Play a lot when I'm at home.
Should we stream it?
We could do if you like. I play about once a week at my home.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Do you get is that with Kaz or something?
No. Whenever I have guests over, I have 2 copies of it, and I always keep it out just in eyesight in case they sort of go, "Oh, you like Scrabble?" I was like, "Yeah, let's get it out." So it's always
dude. Have you seen the luxury Scrabble set?
No, I haven't.
It's like it's like $200, $260.
Okay.
It looks like a mahogany effect. It's got little gold, like all brass plated drawers and things. Sure. It looks really, really nice.
That's nice. I might actually get that because I got a sick coffee table, like similar to this one, but it's like half marble, half wood. I could have a premium Scrabble set.
Yeah, I'm considering getting it, but I feel like it's one of those things where you need your house to be styled like that for it to fit in. And
exactly. I have the proper Patrick Bateman bachelor pad at my place.
Oh, really?
I've got lots of wood, lots of marble, lots of expensive toiletries. It's
have you read the Scrabble book? Oh crap, what's it called? Word Wars or something like that.
Is it like tips and hints?
No, it's a story about people who play competitive Scrabble.
Wow.
It's kind of like, I used to go on like the FGC circuit, but it's Scrabble.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It has a film, a documentary, a docu-film, whatever, about it as well. It's pretty good, but it does teach you certain things like the common letters that you keep to make your bingos.
You can never ridicule me for anything ever again, James.
Well, because of Scrabble.
Because you read books about Scrabble.
You should read some books, Dan.
I'm reading.
Shut up.
5 books.
5 versus 3 for Optic Gaming. They've taken control of the middle position, and Dennis is on the site. Welcome to Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Optic, with a cameo from Scrabble players.
I was actually into it. I'm down for this.
I was really enjoying the chat. It's good.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this one then. NIP with the bomb down, smoke in. That's towards Connector, I believe. And it's up to Dennis, fighting strong, but not strong enough. As Get right now with the burst fire. He loves that, but it's not working out this time. Forest 4 versus 1. Surely no chance to win this one, chaps.
The plan is for him, and surely someone is watching it. He can try to douse. Oh, wow, that's a headshot and everything. Surely you got to go for the guy defusing the bomb. Forest! Oh my god!
Oh my days! 5 HP! He was so close.
How is he so invincible?
I don't know.
There's like 4 guys.
That was kind of sick
there.
though. That shot especially is like he's done it. He's doing it, boys. And then he kills this dude as well. And it was such low HP. One more shot, snappy 5 HP. Would enough to win the round. They didn't have a kit. That was it.
The crazy thing though is that like the guy by stairs, the second guy that he engaged, I'm just like, after you get that first kill, you've got a wide swing, surely. Got to get that wide swing on. It's Forrest though. He knows much more about Counter-Strike than me, so I will take my hindsights.
I love that connector smoke that he threw. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've had to write that down to learn that one.
This is, by the way, I was hoping that we would see Mirage. This is a really dangerous map from both teams' perspectives. Like, both teams can absolutely go off on this map. So this is such a prime battlefield for these two teams.
I gotta say, I'm hyped for NIP games. I mean, I feel like, again, they tend to get, when it comes to a narrow win or a narrow loss, I feel like we see more narrow losses than wins from them. But I don't know. I sometimes I feel in the seasons their stats could be dramatically different, and when they miss out on LAN, I really feel like they would have a great performance at LAN. Same for the major, even. Really unlucky with the draws they got there, I think it's fair to say. So yeah, I feel like we know that their current peak is a lot higher than the opportunities they're getting, if that makes any sense. So I'm excited to see what they can do, because I think at some point they're going to explode and win a few tournaments.
Really?
I think it's in their future.
A few tournaments?
Yeah, like, you know, two or three.
All right.
Well, what kind of tournaments are we talking here?
Counter-Strike tournaments.
Yeah, but are you talking? Yeah, but
Scrabble tournaments.
Yeah, but you're talking tier 1 tournaments where, you know, you don't see a tier 1, or you see tier 1 teams everywhere, or you talk about.
I didn't really want to go into further detail. I just think they'll win a few tournaments.
Well, that's a big difference.
Oh!
And config is making the difference here. Triple. That's not bad, is it?
It's not bad at all. That was a beautiful spray transfer from config. That saves the round. They get a plant out of it, meaning they can buy up if they so wish. And the fact they only got 2 kills, maybe that won't happen, but we'll see. But still, impressive from config. The third kill especially looks so under control. This is his map, remember. We discussed this maybe a couple of weeks ago. It's difficult to keep track at this point where we're at in the league, but
the money.
yeah, they got loads of it, haven't
like
they?
6K. Oh, wow.
Okay, Dan, I don't think they'll win the tournament, which is like completely packed. But I don't think every tournament is these days. You've got Liquid pulling out a lot of tournaments and so on, which I think is good, because attending every single one is just not healthy. So I think with teams more spread out, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw 1 or 2 wins in the NIP.
Well, it's config applying the pressure. Forrest misses the shot. Remember, he opts for the squad on a full-time basis. Not necessarily his preferred role, but definitely proficient. They'll lose the first pick, and it's config. He loves rushing up towards top of middle. He does get the first kill, can't find the AK, but Dennis surely has no idea this is happening. What a play coming in from Cajun B. Here's the grenades thrown. Capitalizes upon the opportunity, and now it's a 5 versus 3.
This is very dangerous. Lots of damage there on these Optic players, but the frag's still with them. But that's beautiful. That's an enormous kill. That still means that middle is... Oh, good return. Good return.
That's unfortunate. Snappy with a nice burst. Gotta love bursting in this game. I'm so happy that they made that change to reward bursting and tapping after bursting. That's so important, I think, for Counter-Strike. Anyway, Rez is moving through the Palace position, 1 versus 4 with 40 seconds. We've got Yugi in CT spawn at present. He doesn't have the AWP just yet. And Rez is creeping through. The trajectory gives him a clue as to where one of these players is, but oh, that's a big frag. Now he knows he's got 1 versus 1 around here somewhere. It's Toll Booth, and Yugi's not showing. He's buying time for his team. Look at the rotation. They're streaming in. 19 seconds. He knows somebody's CT. Going for the brazen plant, but Snappy will say no.
Good reaction from Snappy. It's 3-0 after an aggressive push at the start. They get the opening pick, then a 5-on-3. There was a chance for an IP with a decent grenade towards the ladder room, which luckily hit Nico somehow. And no plant, though, for an IP. Lots of money previously. They got enough to buy next round, so they'll go for a partial here. CZ's maybe some deagles. Actually, an AK for Dennis. He's actually spent the majority of his cash. The former in-game leader will be trying to light up the scoreboard here with the tactical purchase of the AK-47.
Hero AK.
I really still miss the famous burst for 1.6. I really want that back in the game. Like, as you were just talking about sort of bursting and so on. Maybe we'll get there. The B-split comes in, and Nico is ready to receive. It's only good for 1 though, and CTs will make their way through the shot into the bomb site. Some damage is being done though by NIP. No bomb plant, 2 kills. Not too bad actually, considering what they invested. And straight back with the big buy once again. No AWP this time.
I'm going to tweet slow squadron and 3 clicks Philip.
Okay.
And say that I would be interested in an investigation into the FAMAS burst versus previous iterations of the FAMAS burst in previous iterations of Counter-Strike. See if anybody bites.
It used to be sick and sauce and one of my favorite things to use.
Yeah, 1.6 is like so satisfying.
Like the position in like CT spawn and Dust 2 where you're shooting towards short at the cross, that was so sick for that. But anyway, here we go, execution from NIP looking at their first round. It looks like Config might run away with it once again. Surely there's a trade here as he'll make his way towards Shadow, looking to negate the terrorists here. They're in front of him, they don't have no idea he's moving towards Palace. He's so exposed, he's in the open, but oh my goodness, he misses out on the kill and we take him down. That's so tedious to watch. As there'll be a 3-on-2 now. Yugi looking to shut down the Shadow player. That's the bomb down, but still a 2 versus 1. In NIP's favor, not for long.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
Oh, that was close. Yugi made it look very doable, but look at the damage they've done to NIP there. Their economy has been somewhat ruined, but they do have 2 players on 6 to 7k. So I was actually hoping we'd see a double AWP actually from Optic there with all the money they had. But we're going to see a shotgun, a UMP, an AWP and 2 imports. And a good amount of nades. So very interesting by NIP actually to take the time on understanding how horrible it would be if they lost this round. If NIP lose this round, it's going to be a big half for Optic most likely. That reset is going to be way too punishing. So they need to find the best approach for this one and get on the same page, and that's what they're doing right now. Timeout has expired into regular freeze time. And soon we'll be away with NIP and their attempt to not get completely broken on the economy.
Very important round. Cajun B and the Nova. I'm excited to see what he has to offer. No skin, disappointed of course. Antique is a good one, I can recommend it. I have a shotgun which is over 130 years old at home.
130?
Yeah.
How do you manage that?
Took it from my dad.
Nice.
He's not that old. 4 to 1.
Oh!
And we've got a collision. That is a lot of money. I think that's $900, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's almost paid for itself immediately.
That's sick. In both barrels.
Exchange of positions. Dennis now in the jungle position. Sandwiched in, he's smoked out. And his teammates are on the rotation.
Oh, but the timing here coming in from Snappy is so critical. Makes it up the stairs just before they go around the choke points. Can't do it with the UMP. The fire rate's too slow. Will they expect a second player? They'll check for it. Forrest does see it just in time. Very diligent stuff. And now it does look like NIP are going to be fine in this round. They'll beat the CTs to that B bomb site. And all should be well. Yugi needs to save that. Their money's broken. Cajun B needs to save that AK. Their money is broken.
It's a shame Yugi didn't get through the door in time again. It's one of those situations where you can hold an angle through the door towards the bench position. You'll often have an opportunity to take a shot, at least. But in a better situation for a retake as well, if you know that no one has crossed towards bench, it makes life a hell of a lot easier. In terms of what you need to focus on. Off he goes. So NIP get their second round on the board. The money's low for both sides, so it will not be ideal. I always forget that there's a gap you can look at over the top of the box. Well,
yeah, and like a little tiny gap.
Yeah.
As well. That is kind of sick, that angle. You see like some of the really impressive aimers use that efficiently. They're tapping through it. It can be quite sick to watch. But money, not amazing for Optic, but the AWP saved and the AK might persuade them to invest into this round. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe a little bit more than they have. It's such an awkward position. So you got like 3k on Cage, and he could drop like an SMG. He could have 2 Deagles.
But that 4x next round would be ruined. It's like Optic will look into the future. What's the oldest thing you've owned, Henry?
The oldest thing?
Yeah, James has got that 130-year-old
shotgun.
shotgun.
I've never really thought about it. I do know what I have. I have Buddha statue from Shanghai, from original temple, that's dated back to 1905 from an antique store.
What about your
necklace.
Yeah.
This is from 1920, actually. That's a good point.
Yeah.
This is a Tokyo from an antique shop, silver. It's from 1920.
Nice.
There you go. But my Buddha statue in my home, which is about this big from the ground. It's wood, it's black, it's from a temple.
It's about 4 or 5 foot.
That's
Just
cool.
Yeah.
showing us. Yeah.
I'll take a picture.
Nice.
Smuggling artifacts from foreign countries, Henry G.
Yep. That's my pride and joy. I love that thing. It looks super cool.
Someone else isn't pride and joy before. Right now, Yugi under the window, running away, and he cannot be helped. He was wanting a lot more from that, and Snappy will try to get something. Trying really hard with the USP, but he can't quite get it done, and that will be a safe round for Ninjas in Pyjamas, as I'm sure Cajun B wants to hold on to his AK-47. Config moving into position. They know some players are low, so perhaps an opportunity will present itself. Ooh, there we go. P250 pays for itself. Love me a P250. What's the oldest thing you owned at?
The oldest,
Android phone.
The oldest thing that I own, besides myself, I guess, would be
Besides yourself.
would be a straight razor that I bought because I got into straight razors for shaving like 8 years ago, I think it was.
And it is how old?
And it was from World War I. So, it's, presumably used by
White people.
someone in the war, so some form of military man in the war in World War I.
A military man.
A military man.
Maybe it was a postman.
Maybe.
Postman's razor.
Straight razor is actually really fascinating. But no time to get into any of that, but because we have round number 8 underway, full buy for both teams, no AWP on Optic of course, and NIP just looking for, well, actually just in a default really now, more emphasis towards that B apartment's position, like he can use that to try to go down underpass, get themselves on that delayed mid-take, try to pincer in from the underpass as well as top mid at the same time. Just a slower approach here. Optic definitely encouraged to throw some aggression in somewhere in this round. Whether or not they choose to is up to them, but with no AWP especially, and as having such a dynamic team, it would be quite fun to see that. But they are just playing it by the book for now. We have a 3-man setup around middle.
It's all gone quiet. No sound cues of any kind. How do you choose good timing? Oh! Oh, awkward. Does Res get anything out of this? Yes, he does. 2 kills, make it 3 for the T's very quickly indeed. Gap in that smoke. I don't think he saw Cajun B, however, who's blind and forced away to the default position. Miss his chance. They know where he is now. Another one though, 2K from him. He knows the player's ramp, but the wallbang is there for Dennis. That leaves Snappy in a 1 versus 2. The bomb moving through T-spawn. Still an opportunity for Snappy to do something here. And now he can reposition somewhat safely due to that smoke, which I think has a gap in it. May betray Ninjas in Pyjamas. That is quite the gap, in fact. Down goes the plant. He's exposed to the Palace players, surely. Has Dennis seen him? I think he has. There's a shot from Forest, but Dennis unable to respond. Snappy has no idea where Dennis is. So he has the advantage. Off angle. Has he been spotted yet? Oh, I think he jumped by mistake, and that was going to cost him. That was in the bag for NIP. They knew where he was. They couldn't get a 2 versus 1. Oh, dear.
That was really nice, that first kill from Snappy. Wait, there's this spot where someone is planting. So there's a spot there where he can try to peek for info, see where the second player is, or try to engage the second player who's covering the bomb planter, not knowing exactly where the CT is. That's one play that he has, but instead he lets the bomb go down so that he can have an angle on the guy who might be trying to look for him, and he has a millisecond to hit a pixel headshot. That was pretty incredible.
He actually exposed himself. His positioning was too high on the stairs. He was showing to Dennis. Just a little bit at the very least. 2-man spray attempt. Config will clean up though. Forrest and Dennis remain in this fast play on the A side. Wow. 2 versus 2 very quickly. Bomb can be picked up. Dennis still on the UMP. Forrest is managing to escape. Gets some info as to where one of these players is. A spray there from Dennis as Nika goes from smoke to smoke, and that leaves Snappy alone. 1 versus 2.
Well then.
It's like the same situation.
Oh, the grenade is decent though. That could be enough. Not quite. Dennis down to 9, but still very, very low. Both NIP players though. And he'll jump up, spot 1. Somehow doesn't get a kill. There it is. It connects in the end. And it will be Forrest left with 30 HP, but he's very good in these scenarios. Snappy, a little bit too quick for him though. That's a great shot. towards the A ramp, and that's the round stolen away. Optic 6, NIP 3. Presumably money not looking too good. This was actually pretty wonderful for me. You can see how assertive he is. I guess his first kill, he's not turtling up trying to hide and avoid the frag. He's actually ready to challenge. And what a fantastic shot that is.
He just it's like no thought, it just goes for it. That's amazing. He's supposed to be the IGL, you know, supposed to be not necessarily the guy that you expect to just be wide swinging Forest and just winning these 1v2 clutches consistently. So that's amazing.
Another fast round for Ninjas in Pajamas. Far worse equipped, however. Now they've got no more grenades as they stream through the checkpoint, spreading, trying to overwhelm these forces. And they're doing that. How have they got this far? I have no idea. Config charging around the back. Has he been heard by Rez? If so, where is it safe to plant? That bomb has got to go down. It's really important. If they are to lose this round, that bomb plant will be crucial.
Oh my goodness. Low HP again. Exact same scenario, really. This time an extra player for Optic. Rez using the Glock right now. They haven't really got much to work with here. They'll try their best, making noise dropping the bomb, but an AK has been found. Config. He'll be positioned towards the B apartments right now as teammate Cajun holding towards the window. 45 seconds. Bomb attempt comes through. Decent position for it. No way to deny it for Config there. So successful round, even if it doesn't work out. This was an eco. And Forrest with no armor and 29 HP will have to do something exceptional here. As he'll hold on in the 1 versus 2. Bomb taking at some pace now. I'm going to say it's a completely foregone conclusion. CT's being very passive here, and there's the final kill. MP5, the perfect weapon for that sort of range, and it will be occasionally picking it up. A close round, but still Optic will stabilize, defuse the bomb, and save 2 weapons into the next. But that's a really strong round from NIP, considering they didn't bring much into it.
Playing such fast rounds, it's like everyone dies within, like 8 players dying within, you know, a good 5 or 10 seconds in the last 3 or 4 rounds. It's pretty fun to watch. And you just get this like after plant clutch situation straight away. So see if we can find a more sort of normal round here for NIP. No, they're just going to run straight forwards. Are they going to go straight through connector, or what is the plan here? I feel like I'm conditioned to expect them to be super fast at this point. And indeed, they've made their way through onto the stairs, and they're all over this A bomb site already, just Molotoving Shadow as well, trying to bust open connector. It's really important that Config survives for Optic.
Cajun being in a default position. He's good for 2 to transfer. Got himself a 3K. That leaves Forrest and Dennis alone. But it is a 2 versus 2 after all. KGB, that was all good. Grenade out in his hands. Down he goes. Has he done enough? Snappy, surely he is position known. The bomb is close to connector, but Molotov is down. He has an angle on Forrest. I'm not sure if Forrest saw him as well. But he will not re-emerge just yet. Bomb yet to be collected. Dennis has collected it now. Up the stairs he goes, around the corner. Forrest pops out at the right time. And there's round number 4 for Ninjas in Pajamas. A war of attrition, round after round after round.
Yeah, this is such a grind, isn't it? What a beautiful spray this was. Just really committing into that 3rd one. Hoping, praying, he nails it, and he does. Both teams just losing so much money every round. Look at NIP's money.
Yeah, well,
absolutely screwed.
Optic are a little bit screwed here. They have brought up what they can, though. Deagles, 5-7s, UMP. This is a close game. I thought this would be a good one. Looks like NIP might start to get into 5th gear at this point. Mid control granted. Decent smokes at the start. See whether they can start to connect the dots, though. Optic are one of the scariest teams on the planet with Deagles, especially with Nico in the squad. And Get Right sneaks in towards the connector just as the smoke dissipates there. Takes down 2. And that should be round concluded. They can just hold up now for the reactions.
Here's one. HMB moves forwards. And that's surely a kill now. 5 HP. And there you go. Nico will grab one with a 5-7, but he'll be quickly traded out. And now Snappy by the very, very dirty orange couch. Those pillows are disgusting.
They're not the best, are they?
They're always really flat as well.
They must have come from someone's house, like a developer.
There's nothing wrong than a... There's no, sorry, nothing worse than a terrible pillow. That's not fit for purpose.
It's an orange couch though, kind of like a FACEIT couch. Although our couches are black.
Yeah.
Snappy remains with the 5-7.
Marco Pfeiffer.
And the Pyjamas looking for round number 5, their second round in a row. After their previous flurry of 3. Flurry's a lovely word. Not McFlurry, just flurry. Optic are lacking in the monies. Donations are open. No chargebacks, please. USPs, 5 USPs. Forrest lining up a smoke for the window. Well, he was. Now that is going elsewhere. I'm not even sure. Fast flashbangs flying through. Dennis has been taken out by a USP. 2 unresponded to USP frags, and Ninjas in Pyjamas are stuck in the choke point. Yugi with the flank, he's ringing the bell. What in the blazes? 5 USPs, surely not like this, especially with a fast round. They're supposed to clean theirs up, and they're on the way. But they can afford no more headshots. Config picks up a Mac 10, but he does not have position. That was too close.
Well, this is why I always say in my commentary, at least, they're going towards B. When the meta right now is mainly to stack that bomb site, it doesn't really seem the most effective method. You should just run a default to start, then go in together once you get a bit of intel. I think it's just too high risk going into those bomb sites. Even when you think they're full eco, they've got nothing to work with. But either way, they win the round. Not really much to report other than that. Lost a bit of cash, but getting themselves right back in this game now. So Yugi, great shot. Pops off the head of Forrest there. Wasn't expecting that. Looking for the follow-up as well. Doesn't nail the shot, but did spot the player in towards Palace. 5 on 4, and the bomb still down towards the T-spawn area. It's going to be Nico. Doesn't have to be too aggressive here, just holding up. Electro, get right. Not known to be an AWPer. We'll see what he can do here.
Get right with the AWP. Been starring in some advertisements recently.
Has he?
Yeah.
Which ones?
Can't remember.
Well, not a very good advert then, if you can't remember the product.
It's not really about the ad, it's about my brain, Henry.
Yeah, fair enough.
Occasionally be looking for a timely flank. Will be a long road around those railings, however. Been a while since I scaled some railings. One play in connector. Sounds being made now. KGB can raise the alarm and start to flank.
His teammates have to survive, though, for him to be able to make the flank effective. And the timing's so quick that it looks like a sure thing. Let's see if he can get it. Yeah, it looks very good. He can now just apply some trigger discipline if he needs to ensure the double. Doesn't matter too much. It's a 1v3 for Lekro. It's going to have to be stunning to pull this one off. That's a great start. 1 versus 2 now. Can maneuver elsewhere. Repositioning. Looking for the next players. Finds a good angle. Oh, that was so close. Looked like he had Nico dead to rights, but it will be another round there for Optic instead. 8-6. This has been a very enjoyably scrappy game so far.
I'm enjoying it. It's good, isn't it? Lots of rounds where, sure, they're 1-on-3s. We feel like there's a chance, there's a good setup. And we'll see some close rounds, some maybe eco victories as well. 8-6, maybe even 8-7 towards the end. We're going to split it right down the middle here. Single AWP set up once again. Yugi with 12 frags so far. Not at the top though. Config, like we said, is a bit of a Mirage specialist. Let's see if he can continue that good form. It's normally the CT side he does most of his work, but no stranger to the AK either. There's Config once again. Nade towards top of middle. Not going to do the most damage, just one.
Last round, these teams are fighting for. 9-6 would be a very strong scoreline if Optic can win a pistol in the second half, so this could be a very significant round. Is this the gimmick smoke with which to look into mid? It appears it is.
Yeah, but everyone knows about this one now. You need to be very careful that no one's waiting on the other side, but he did a decent amount of info from this. No one's spotting for it. You can at least gather that middle's clear, but obviously it's not. There's a player behind mid boxes there and towards Delpan, so needs to be very, very careful. 1 minute remaining. Still with the majority of the utility. They have 3 smokes and flashbangs. Rez looks like he'll be faking towards B with that single smoke, and it's going to try and show some presence here with the Molotov. Maybe try and force out a frag as he focuses towards short. But his teammates, as you can see, getting ready for the A split towards connector and indeed A ramp.
And Nico's coming towards short position. I don't know if he's going to go for a deep peek here, but if he does, he might catch these players coming up. And Config certainly will. And that'll be the call there for his teammates. And Yugi's ready as you like. 30 seconds, and NIP have lost 2 players, gained minimal amounts of map control. And in comes Nico indeed, onto the short position. Finds Electro, looking desperate now. The bomb is lost as Rez is stuck as the lurker very far away. Couldn't be further from the bomb, in fact.
Yeah.
And that should be the end of the half. 9-6. Optic have had a really successful half here if you consider how violent NIP made it.
Absolutely agree. There was moments there it felt like NIP were right back into it. Fantastic start from Optic. Remember, they get the 2-0 start. They managed to negate the, not so much force buy, but the purchase of NIP with the MP5s pushing up towards middle, trading out frags, looking very good. Got the 4-0, then NIP came online. Couldn't string a massive amount together, but still a very competitive half. 6 rounds is absolutely fine. They lose the pistol, might be in a bit of trouble though. It will be the standard air execution here with the smoke towards the connector. Rez though up and about, looking like he's going to get at least 1 frag here, maybe a bit more. Headshots being delivered left, right and center, but it's Config and Yugi getting the lion's share. Dennis though, one of the best pistol users on the planet, will only be good for 1.
Pretty close though, still at this point. Cajun Beast making it a lot better. Lecro's got much to do. Losing this pistol would be disastrous. Again, it's not that 12-6 scoreline anymore. Things have changed. Unless Ninjas in Pajamas go for the force buy. 2 more to find. No kit. He's got to get his skates on. Nobody here. Where are they? CT, Palace. Trying to force them out now. But it will be an easy peek for Optic. But they're running out, actually, giving him 1 kill. Nico, oh, he can't see the bomb. It's not planted for them. But it's too late to win the round because they ain't got no kit, ain't got no players, ain't got no round number 7. 10 rounds for Optic.
10 rounds indeed. Optic, decent 2-on-1. Got a little bit dicey there towards the end, but like you said, no kit. The bomb was too really far gone. And Cajun B, nice play to take down one of the deadliest players of the USP. That's Dennis. -2, followed up with a nice little sequence there towards jungle. Config, easy kill in the back of the head. And there'll be no force buy here. It's going to be that 3rd round. So, bit of a gimme here for Optic. We'll see how it goes for them. They've gone for 3 AKs, preparing for the 3rd.
Not a lot you can expect from NIP in this kind of a situation. Only 1 deagle. Maybe there were more deagles. But as the economy has changed in the way that it has, we're not going to see that as often. Some pew-pews through the smoke. And Snappy can find information for his team. Would be fine for him to try to just push towards the A site to get info. And here he goes. Let's see, what does he find out? So you can see that window is clear. And here comes the backstab into B. So this is beautiful. Snappy, it's all about him here. And it looks like no one is going to be expecting him to arrive. So you can see the bomb is starting to move towards the B bomb side as well. They know Snappy is going to be good for this. Looking for the 2nd play. He's got the info. So that's... Oh, the bomb's going towards A now. Very interesting stuff. Fair enough. I mean, they have such a big weapon advantage. It doesn't really matter at this point, you know, but... Knife. Oh, it's over.
It's not really much point getting excited about those rounds.
No.
This is the one it's leading up towards. It's where the M4s come out. If you are just joining us, maybe just turn on the stream. We are using the new patch now this week. We're on day 2 of our 8-day stint. And we'll see 5 and 4s come through. And no defuse gets Bare Bones utility. It's up to these AKs to penetrate the A site. So the bomb's down. Blackbird with the pre-fire, not landing any of the bullets. Up close and personal from NIP towards that A ramp.
Line them up. and throw them. SK-esque setup from Ninjas in Pyjamas. The YouTube special. And there's one unanswered frag. However, Optic have made inroads, but they made a step actually. And Dennis has heard that, trying to reposition. He'll get taken out by longer range Mac 10. Jungle taken now by Optic. What is going on? How do you really figure this out? The T's are all over the place, pulling the CTs away from A, with the exception of Rez. He's in a strong position to do something. Config on the high ground, and Rez still hasn't revealed his position just yet. Now he does at a crucial point of the round, where that leaves Snappy in a 1 versus 3.
He could potentially do this, though. His positioning might not be expected. 35 seconds remaining. As I said, there's that gap we talked about before. Can be very difficult to deal with. Snappy takes most of his HP, and it will be get ready to close things out. There we go. First run on the board in the second half for NIP. It's in the third round. There will be money to buy still for Optic, but I guess that's exactly what this patch is supposed to do. Give the losing team a fighting chance in that round 3, and it works out quite nicely. There we go. 11-7, and we'll see 19 begin. Is there a buy here? They've got 2 AKs. There we go. A little bit late out of the trap, but I guess it's fine. They're running a default anyway. And there's a CT creeping up middle. Dennis waiting for the flashbang, presumably. Will he go any further? He'll just be watching underpass for now. And here comes the flash. And the commitment. Not bad.
Great detail from Ninjas in Pyjamas as well. A Molotov for the underpass, just in case, as they stop watching it. So, no stone unturned or whatever. All detail applied. But Dennis is exposed to 2 players top mid. And now he's dead.
So giving up the 5v4, now 4v4, as Optic have a minute just over to play with to try to capitalize on this 4v4 situation. Obviously it's tougher on the CTs, as you can't really stack everyone on one bomb sites. That said, Rez will pick up a frag in mid, and with Cage and B deflected as well out of the pit position, losing most of his health, things really start to swing in NIP's favor, and they must win this round because otherwise the reset would be quite brutal, and they want to absolutely avoid that strong setup here on the B bomb side. I don't see NIP giving up this bomb side here. Looking very good for them. Lekro will be forced into a reposition. Oh, he's actually going to be shot in the back there. The spray's not good enough from Forest. Maybe there is a chance after all.
I think he was expecting a flash, which is why he didn't turn around. Unfortunately for him, there was no flash. Get right misses the jump. Longer rotation for him. Cage and B can hear it. Taken by surprise. Not expecting him to be that far up. Look how low these players are. Look how low all these players are. Rez included. Config hiding by the bench. Well positioned. Not seen by the window.
No kit, boys.
Indeed. Oh, I can see one on the floor. Just pointed at it for us, Rez. However, he is moving away from the bomb, realizing that this is unachievable. His teammate died on short, and that's where Rez will die as well. So, didn't really get what he was looking for, and Optic win the round after all.
Wow, good, very good job Config there. My goodness, and yeah, get right missing the jump. Definitely killed the chances there for NIP. And the reset is so rough. Oh man. Man. That's nasty, isn't it? That is real nasty. Not too much they can do with this. Lekro, unless he has one of his crazy deagle rounds. It's most likely a write-off. Almost been left by herself there in the apartments at the beginning of them, at least. And once again, NIP, just trying to stack up bomb site. Wait for their opponents, but there is one of them. We saw Snappy doing this in the previous round like this as well, though this time he's less covert, and he'll get double thinked by Rez.
I think I'm going to rename my Mac 10 Farm Simulator, because it is for farming cash. I think that's a good name. Optic looking for round number 13. The B bomb site appears to be empty. The bomb has been thrown to the low ground, so the player on the high ground can keep the high ground control. Always have to be aware of the flanks. Optic focused on all the potential avenues of entry. Speaking of entry, there's one on the B bomb site from Lecro. Strong with a deagle, as we all know. Top 3. Some would say.
Some would say.
Many would say.
Many would say, yeah. I'd be one of those people.
Oh my god, he's done it again. Another headshot from Lecro, and he's still alive. Somebody stop him with that deagle. The positioning is strong though, and there's no kits. Oh my god, oh wow, they are just annihilating them. There's no
what's happening?
The bomb. Can KGB get there in time? He can't get to him. Oh my goodness.
That's a rip. Yeah, I've learned that the hard way before as well. You can't plant, I don't think you can plant for sure and be able to defend a bomb from apartments. Ooh, Lecro, the hero that they needed. The tentacles of Diffusal prove successful. That is a stolen round, if ever I've seen one.
That's insane.
Like a B retake with nothing. Into the full defuse.
You have to respect it.
Wow.
They force respect.
Well, they forced 5 deagles, so they gotta be careful here. Optic is pretty dangerous with those as well. And now we have a game on our hands. Before it was looking like NIP were going to get crushed because of the economy, but
yeah.
The Eagles out, 1 for 1. Oh, Dennis, gotta be so careful.
Daylight robbery. Had the masks on, went into the bank with the torn off shotguns, and they cleaned out the safety deposit boxes in front of the owners.
The owners didn't do anything about it?
Pearl necklaces, all gone.
You know, the money that the bank tellers are instructed to give have like tracking information in the money.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can't imagine many people bother robbing banks these days. The amount of CCTV and technology behind, you just say, "What? This can't be a good idea. We're not going to get away with this."
Yeah, every note has an ID on it.
Yeah.
So they can track where they go,
like
where they're spent.
They know where it's gone.
Yeah. So what would you buy if you stole loads of money from a bank?
You couldn't buy stuff in a shop, for example. You'd have to just buy. You'd have to go take the money to another country, like Mexico,
wash
for
it,
example, and just like get it out of the system.
Wash the money.
That's probably another conversation for another time. I'd imagine.
Money laundering?
When we're not doing this.
How do we launder money?
It will be the AWP for Dennis, so they do mix things up between Forrest and himself. That's a great grenade, though.
Oh my
Does a ton of
days.
damage. The follow-up spray as well is beautiful. NIP have turned up the play on the CT side, but Snappy will pull one back. Forrest ready and waiting towards short. And look at the damage inflicted. Snappy barely alive at this point. Decent flashbang, though. Except occasion be to flush out the ladder room.
Forrest and his M4A1S. He is sneaky, truly a ninja with that weapon. Catching KGB, executing him. And KGB never knew a thing about it. Well, this round looks pretty over. NIP starting to gain some solid momentum here, and we'll have to see if they can continue. Optic, I thought they would have some more success and we would see more set pieces from them. But we see mostly defaults of late, and not as many sort of set pieces as we saw from North, who were pretty set piece oriented in the game that of Mirage we saw previously with them versus LDLC.
Well, Snappy. Not really sure there's much you can do with this one. He'll have 6 HP, the AK-47. Currently 3-3 in the second half. NIP making a convincing case of the comeback. This is the first map between these two. We have Train coming up next, bit of an NIP classic. Optic, though, certainly will be up and about to play it. They've got Yugi on their side. Nico, the inside anchor, amazing at that position.
Yeah, I really believe in this Optic team.
I do as well. It's a good recipe, but they were at Star Ladder as well last week? I'm not sure. Well, they were. They didn't do very well. But I haven't seen much like in terms of land performance of them yet. It's just always been a work in progress, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for them. This is Team Gade was in before. We just saw him play in North, of course. And there's one AK safe in the previous round, and blocks and PD50s to go with it. Not ideal.
It's not even a hero AK, really, is it? It's like Survivor's Guilt AK. It's the only man who made it off the bus. Remember Speed, Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
What's her face? Black hair. What's her name?
I
don't know. Sigourney Weaver. 10 rounds for Ninjas in Pyjamas, trying to hold on to the A bomb site now. That's a nice spray from Get Right. That's the AK taken away. Easily collected, however. There goes another one. Military force on the yellow gun. And there we are. No damage done by Optic. And now Ninjas in Pyjamas are 1 round away.
Ninjas in Pyjams. It's been a long climb, but they've made it back. It'll be the 5th one in a row to do it. Overall, very successful half from them. Only Optic, they won the pistol, the follow-up round, and since then, very limited success. 4 AKs UMP, will we see a set piece now, or are we just back to the defaults again? So, fast into mids. So it's another default from Optic. This time, they'll actually get an opening kill. So that's a big difference already.
Didn't really have to work for it either. They got to try and capitalize upon it. Pouncing at the opportunity with the opening pick. KGB takes down Get Right. Rez will have a little bit of time with that smoke. The flashbang's decent. Will the follow-up kill be? Not quite. Snappy actually bests him with the UMP. And it's recovery mode now for the Ninjas. Forrest, though, might have a couple here. Great shot towards the short position. Flashbang decent. And the retake might not be that strenuous. You can see there's no smoke available. All now there is for CT Spawn. Snappy's got it. I assume that's where he'll deploy it. Molotov instead and going for the open plan here. Molotov to stop them pushing through.
Ooh, denied. Dennis gets 1. So many more targets. Proactive shot from him. Can't quite find the angle first though. And this may be a safe situation now for Dennis. But they know where he is, and he knows they know where he is. And he knows they know that he knows that they know where he is.
Exactly. And we know where he is.
Yeah, exactly. We all know where Dennis is. So he'll change those facts. Sandra Bullock.
That's it. That is the one.
I wonder if that film holds up. Speed.
There's Speed 2 on a boat as well. Don't watch that one. It's garbage. That wasn't...
On a boat, isn't that kind of...
Just get off the boat. Yeah. Should have life jackets.
I think it changes that. I think that boat's like on course to like smash into a town, and they can't change the navigation. Oh no, that's not it. It's the same thing. They try and slow it down by crashing into like a dock, and like by crashing into the dock, it like slows it right down. I think
doesn't it explode if it slows below?
Yeah, it's a different. It's a different thing. They change it slightly. It might not be slowing down, blows it up. I can't remember. But something like that. They have to crash it into land to slow it down.
Right.
Maybe it can't slow down.
That's funny though, because on a boat you could beach it, and if the propeller's still going, it'll
like
think it's going even faster. All right then. 2-man spray down from Forrest with the silenced M4, only 20 bullets. Man demonstrating his skill there. Can they do more with this? Ninjas in Pyjamas. Now moving into the short B position. Nico, where does he find an entry? Oh, he spotted Lecro. Forrest, what can he do about it? He can trade 3 kills for Forrest now. In the meantime, Optic have taken some plays away. Lecro's been popped as well as Rez. And now KGB finds himself alone. Off the ladder, there's 1 kill. He knows that Dennis is close, holding with the AWP. But he needs to retrieve the bomb.
It's got a minute. That's not too bad. It's always so scary on a map like this, though, when you're trying to have to recover the bomb, and then you get to pick a bomb site. You're 1 versus 2. They can be anywhere, but one of them has an AWP. Like some of those angles and lines that the AWPs can hold, it's very difficult, and you just have to guess and hope that you're lucky, that you're safe. Engagement B will actually take I suppose what he is considering is the avenue which has minimal risk, or the lowest risk possible, going through the palace. It's going to work out here. The CT stacking together towards B.
Well, so, go on, finish.
No, I was going to say, so they're going to try to play this ultimately very safe as well, so that they can just say, you know what, if he doesn't come here, at least we can play two together.
It just stops it being two separate one-on-ones and giving him a huge chance of winning, but we don't even get to build up the clutch there because Cajun B gets absolutely destroyed with the shot from Dennis. This is looking like it's going to be an excellent game to finish things up. A nice close scoreline. No lopsided halves. It's actually going to be all right down to the wire. Money's actually completely out of luck for Optic as well. You're going to see, well, they've got 6k, close to 7 on Cajun. If they really wanted to, they could buy this, but I don't recommend it. So maybe a partial buy, a slight investment. There's only got 1900 next round coming in. Could do like Deagle's no armor, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, he could maybe drop an AWP next round.
Indeed.
So there's probably more value
Yeah.
in holding on to that than going for the hero AK.
That's what I was going to suggest. I like that, because your money's still the same with everybody, and you have an AK and some cover on helmet. Nice.
Yeah, but he could drop an AWP to Yugi in the buy round had he not done that.
But they may not. They may prefer maybe to run 5 AKs, I guess. That could be a thing too that we might.
True, but I feel like with a Yugi on your team, what do I know? Let's see what they do.
Yeah, they got a couple pistols around it. Tech 9 on Nico. He's going for that Tech 9 love. Config not convinced, still on the CZ. PT-15 at Eagle, so quite a variety of pistols. Cajun with the AK, taking 50 damage from the Molotov already.
Well, dead from the wall bang.
Wow, he got absolutely wrecked by that Molotov.
That's the wombo combo right there. You drop the incendiary into, lock them in the corner, then go for the wall bang. It's so satisfying when that works out. That's really cool.
Well,
out of all the players to find as well.
Yeah,
it's the guy with the AK armor.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's incredible.
What is that accent?
Don't know. Just a voice.
Just a voice.
Thanks, Dan.
Funny voice.
I wouldn't go so far as to say funny.
No.
But thanks.
Maybe. Maybe you're right. 13-13, and they'll find AKs towards the end there. This is where NIP are coming to life. Great stuff. And let's see if they can continue it here. NIP have lost both pistols as well, I believe. So,
yep,
that's impressive.
Doing it the hard way.
A execution when all else fails. Drop one of these bad boys in. Try and get a post-plant situation. See if one of your stars can clutch it out. Maybe that won't be required. They have no AWP. It's going to be AKs across the board. Smokes to be deployed momentarily. Get right was having quite a slow game in the first half, turning it up now with 12 kills. Dennis and Forrest 24. Anything but slow for them. Smoke, what is that smoke?
What in the blazes?
What's happened there? I don't even know how to tell you what happened. How did that possibly
How do you
go
mess
down?
that one up? That bad. Doesn't even go over the wall.
I've never seen that.
Mouse 7. Oh dear. Well, config has been taken away. Get right on the site, looking for a second. Only good for one. Most of the CT's now out of position, so despite that bad smoke grenade, maybe there's a chance for Optic. T's dancing around AWP shots, and the bomb gets planted default.
This is actually going to be quite awkward for NIP. They don't have any retake grenades. That's a really big deal on this bomb site. Oh, wow. Nico wasn't even looking to begin with. The trade is there, though, but the 3v3 should still be favorable for Optic again, taking into account that NIP have no grenades left. They do have kits, though, but they have to fight their way forwards. That's the only way, and they will do so. Taking down Yugi with the trades coming in. Ooh. Cajun good for the double. And now Dennis, nothing much that he can do by himself.
That was excellent from Cajun B. Really enjoyed the sound of it. Holding up towards the A ramp, tapping away. Tap, tap, tap.
Cajun B is doing great work in this game. 25 frags for him.
Oh, filthy.
Bush.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's so delightful, isn't it?
Direct.
Delightful.
Top fragging on the server now, just ahead of Forrest and Dennis. Cajun B.
He's been a much better fragger in this team than he has the last couple of years. Like, he's always been a decent player. I've never regarded him as a weak fragger. But this team especially, like, every time we watch him play, like, he's top of the scoreboard. He's doing like a great job. The old veteran of CSGO.
Yeah.
It's not taking a back seat to other players.
Yeah, right. He's just, you
Or
know what?
forced onto the AWP.
I'm getting stuck in here. I'm going to be a right flat.
He's living his
Show you what to
best
do.
life.
That's true.
I'm living my best life.
He's in the best org.
Ain't going back and forth.
Got the
for
role
you
he
bitches.
wants. Got a good team around him.
Has Henry G commentating his video game matches?
Exactly. That's the dream right there. Dan, you get to work with me. You're living the best life.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you can sit there and make weird voices and
I don't really feel like you're taking advantage of the situation.
Fast round interconnector here from Optic. Definitely something you see from the Danish teams. They like this kind of fast-paced play interconnector and up short, but short will be vacant for the time being as there are smokes down. But how can they make this work? Dennis is on the angle, and that's key kill towards Pit will allow them to force Dennis back, but he still takes an extra kill out of it. He's doing a great job with the op so far.
not a surprise for Ez. Just about gets there. Well, config adjusts, tries to correct in time, but he can't. This would be a really bad loss for Optic. 2 versus 4. 1 minute on the clock. Rez unable to escape the Molotov. The numbers have been slightly reduced now. There isn't bomb plant pressure just yet. There's fragging pressure now, and that's compounded by the loss of Cajun B. 3 players survive for Ninjas in Pajamas, and the score is tied.
Ooh,
Oh
maybe
dear.
not for long. Look at that.
I think it would have been interesting if there would have been a way to deal with Dennis AWPing interconnector, because that was really the big problem there. If there's a CT smoke at the very least, then it would, I think it would have been so much more successful. So maybe that's something that they can consider if they look back at this and say, okay, what was the way that we lost this round? Well, everything looked perfect except that Dennis could AWP them in connector. So one smoke could have changed that on CT.
What do you do here if you're Optic? You've got $2,000. NIP about the post-match point. I think the only option really is to take the eco and fight for overtime, which is certainly viable. It's not the scariest prospect. It does put a lot of pressure on round number 30. And at this point, this is going to send players towards the apartments, I'd imagine, Palace, more specifically, and let's try and flash them out. Wait for them to be ready. 1 flash is always purchased, and just try and get a plan here. It'll be Operation Human Shield.
Out it goes, and out they go into the sin bin. 4 timeouts applied, make it 5. Flashbang was the only reasonable investment they could make in that round. Use numbers game, try and get the bomb down because the bonus money is desperately needed. Not about frags anymore, not in that round, just about planting the bomb, about
Indeed.
making your own economy, not the economy of your opponent. And here they are, 14 to 15 now, lost the lead at the worst possible time. Will be the UMP to Galil, 3 AKs, a lot of flashbangs, and some smoke grenades.
The Galil and the UMP. It does not look good for Optic, but Cajun B has shown us one man can do great things. He has got the AK-47. Here he comes towards underpass, and CT is preparing himself for what looks like an A attack, but this is a fake. They are not going to commit to it. They're trying to bait out the utility from the looks of things. CTs are reacting in due course, but nice incendiary there. That really does buy the CTs a lot of time and allows them to wait out those smokes a little bit longer. There's been no rotation from the B side. Lecro still holding up strong with Forest. Rez gets a little bit caught up in the crossfire, but it looks like a B attack is likely at this point. 1 minute remaining, and here's the flash. Rico to go in first.
Running flash out the window. Anybody underneath will be blind. Lecro will avoid it, however. It's a pre-fire for a second player. Plays on short as well. Lecro delivering for the time being. Bought a few precious seconds for the CTs to rotate. Rez holding the angle, but now he's blind and the Optic can cross.
Oh, but they haven't crossed all the way just yet, trying to hug the wall by the window as a smoke to try to make it as safe as possible. Well, just flashes actually, my bad. And Rez trying to tease his way out of the door, but the Optic players have been allowed to get too close now. And a shorter spot. Oh my goodness.
There we go.
Overtime.
We're going overtime, boys.
We're going to overtime.
Great stuff. Good recovery from Optic, I have to say, especially that close play from Cajun B once again. Did he get 3 kills towards the end once again? 28 in total for him. It's all reset. It's MR3. It's 10k. Money actually a bit of an issue here for the CTs, especially when you do double AWPs. It can cost you a lot, even on the T side, to be honest. need to be very careful. You see after the full investment, Dennis is down to 2,600. So definitely something to keep track of still. To get to the first round, they'll stay on the same sides. We're looking for the first to 19. It's 18-18. We do it all over again.
Oh, great pick from Get Right there, just pushing straight far forward through the smoke, by the smoke. And I was already thinking that this really favors NIP. They found such a groove. And as you mentioned, Henry, they lost both pistols as well. They were having to contest with poor economic scenarios, but now they are comfortable, they have momentum, and Optic are fresh off of failure.
Fresh off a failure.
Fresh off a failure.
It's not where you want to be. You want to be fresh off a victory at all times if you can help it.
That's the goal, but Optic now just having to walk into A, and well, Dennis has done this before. It's the routine, and he'll connect with the head.
Oh, oh, there's something. Oh, now it turns into a spark. He's really got to take Rez out here, but again, he's falling back, buying time. Got his teammate to hold an angle for him as well. These players are so low. There's a Molotov for Lecro. That could have a part to play in this. Optic slowing it down. Maybe in the hope that the CT spread and wonder about B. There's a molly deployed. No one picking just yet. They're playing the bomb. Bomb will be thrown to Config, taking some bullets. Out comes Forest. Nice clean up from him, bleaching the floor of A. That's the first round for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
16-15. 2 more to go, and Optic no plan there. Needs money, could be a bit of a problem if they do give this one up. But the A execution, not really too successful. Managing to get close to a plant, but not actually getting it down. So, single op set up on both sides once again. Morris looking to jump up in towards the ladder room, which will do very successfully. Rez going to challenge towards apartments, and there it is, the nice opening pick once again. Forrest can technically fall back at this point, but still wants to stay up front. Get the kills required, and that's so sick by him. He's got a few bullets left, 5 to be exact, and he will get the third. It's a complete lockout from Forrest. Could have fallen back with the advantage, but he goes for gold and manages to win the round pretty much single-handedly there. That was really nice for him. Remember, the M4A1S only has 20 bullets in it. He gets 2 with 15, finishes off the third, and a 4th as well with the AWP. Money is Rex for Optic.
He is just always so good.
He's so aware as well, the bullets remaining, just has to tap away at that point. Just nails it.
Beautiful.
I'm switching to the M4A1S immediately.
For a player like you, it makes sense there. Someone who's reliant very much on aim. Like, and just really precise shots, so why wouldn't you? Perfect for that.
Should do it. Dennis has been doing a pretty good job. He's going to open things up pretty well. Get Right, only good for 1. And, well, Optic is looking very awkward for them to get onto the bomb side here. Just, Raul Rez actually wants more. He's trying to go forwards. He wants to just stop this right now as he pushes towards the Savage position. He knows they won't be ready around the side of the smoke, and he's correct. Now down to a 2 versus 4, and they're still in an awkward position. Another smoke to maybe help them out. But in comes the flank as well.
He goes to plant the bomb. And now it's Nico alone in a cruel world where Forrest frags everybody. 33 frags for Forrest. I think because he's been in a game so long, we don't always notice how consistent he is.
He's sick.
He is awesome.
He's a gamer. He is, and still is, someone who just can whatever game he touches, he's just amazing at it. It was like 10% of the time it'll take most people to get very good at something. He can just get equally as good in 10% of the time. It's nuts.
It's a good skill to have.
It's not bad.
I've played a lot of PUBG with CS pros before,
yeah,
and you're going to see like how unbelievably good they are at first-person shooters in general. Like playing PUBG with like Rain and Olaf, like, was unreal for me. I was like, God, you're just so good at these games. I don't know what you're doing. But
I saw Rain's stats in PUBG once. It blew my mind.
Well then, they must win all 3 rounds, Optic.
Not a bad start.
They've got all 3 frags in round number 1. Indeed, that's not a bad start. How do Ninjas in Pyjamas respond? They've all got money for the next round, so you can just try to Still win this one, 2 versus 5. Stranger things have happened.
Indeed.
Trying to ensure some 1v1s if possible. Ooh, I think a player was triple, but Dennis will be ill-timed in that regard. Re-peek. And now Rez remains. About to throw a grenade, but that would end in disaster for him, because they would know where he is. Immediately, everybody far away could move into a far superior position, move into Palace, things like that, make plants impossible. He needs the element of surprise.
Oh. Rounds like that are quite fun sometimes when you're like 1v5 and you know that's like it's like the outcome doesn't, it's just meaningless for what you accomplish unless you actually win the round somehow with an ace, but you can just have a bit of fun. Rest denied any kind of fun though. Optic will win the first round and they must win every round to secure at the very least another overtime, and that's a good way to start things off, of course. The only way to start things off for them, as Yuki looks to go for a fast play with the AWP, and he is being awaited for by Forest, who fancies himself a bit of AWP work, and he will do a great job.
It's still Optic.
Just a nice lurk smoke. You can look down below that. You can jump on the bricks behind it. Look over it. With a silence turn 4, that would be absolutely deadly. Rez taking chunks. Well, 4 on 4 now. Ninjas in Pajamas being as careful as they can.
4 on 4 technically favours NIP, but maybe not considering the HP here. Great positioning from the CT. That's going to be Config. Does he get touched by the flames? Not quite. It's going to be Nico and all the chaos capitalizing upon it and managing to get another frag. This could fall apart now. Rez is so compromised his position, and there it is. It'll be a 4 versus 2, and maybe not even close to the bomb site here. Dennis is out of luck. 3-0, looking like he could be responded with in equal manner. We'll see what happens. What's the cash out? It's actually not too bad. There'll be 3 AKs at least to make it 4 with Electro's 4,700. But I think Forest will be down to just a Deagle here, perhaps. CZ. Final round of overtime. Will it be the final round of the game? They just rushing B straight up.
Oh, yeah.
No. So.
Careful, get right. There it is. Smoke the molly, a run on through. Catch them on a timing, but Snappy Z to defend. Crossfire is abandoned now as Nico gets taken down by Garrett. Good work from him, and actually not looking too shabby here for NIP. They have a 4 versus 3. The bombing yet to go down. They may be hesitant to do so immediately, but here it comes. Lekro with it, and the smoke's still up to protect him. So, favorable situation for NIP to end this.
Looking even better now. Now it's just down to Yugi with that AWP on the CT side versus 4 players behind a very tight choke point. Scene tagged. Another HE flying through. All kinds of spray, and the knife from Forest. Cherry on top, 35 frags for him. 19 to 17 for Ninjas in Pajamas.
Oh my goodness, what a performance from Forest. Absolutely crazy towards the end. Optic with a good start. They managed to get 9-6. And remember the pistol situation as well. Optic managed to give it away. It got them towards overtime there, and that's when Forest seemed to obliterate the opposition. That was actually a really good game. That was actually back and forth. There was no lopsided affairs. It was actually competitive throughout, and nice and close. The money points was actually broken for both teams, and you could feel the tension between the two of them. Snappy with some great moments here. Cajun B, for me, on the Optic side, was one of the absolute players in the server. He was so good. Config, as usual, delivering on Mirage. Rez, this is a great moment. Got the nade in, then the follow-up frag as well. But Forest, he's got to take the MVP nomination, I would say, on this particular map. So strong, so assertive. In situations you'd think, well, maybe he can fall back now. He keeps delivering headshots time and time again. 35 frags for Patrick Lindberg. And Dan, you are right. He's an absolute legend. Like, never been considered a weak player for NIP. Always up there in the conversation for top fragger. And keeps delivering frag after frag. Get right, not so much in this map, but he had his moments for sure, especially in that last round. And of course, it's the knife to close things out. Here are the scores on the doors. Forest, 35 kills. Dennis, 31. and big numbers produced by those two, but you can see the others keeping up with them as well. Get right, 20 frags towards the end. He really did turn it up in overtime, I would say, in their 3-0 campaign to kick things off in the first half. Snappy, nice to see him, the in-game leader, getting at the top there, but it's Cajun B with 30 kills. It's a bit unfortunate being on the losing side when you have that kind of performance.
Yeah, but I think everyone had a good job, but it's NIP who won that one. Pretty close, obviously, being in overtime.
Yes.
And there's one more map to come.
There is one more map to come. That's going to be Train. And for me, that's a bit of an NIP classic. I feel like they've able to carry this momentum over, but they're so evenly matched, I would say. Like, that game wasn't clear who was going to win at all. Hopefully we see more of the same, and you'll have to find out after this break. It will be Optic versus NIP on Train. Back in about 5 minutes. We'll see you then.